Hi, I'm Paul. Somebody asked me a question a couple of months ago. The question was, where do thoughts come from? I've been waiting for a couple of months to try and see if anything comes up of how I can make sense of that. I think I might have an answer to it. So I'll come back to where thoughts come from in a couple of minutes. I just want to talk about a few other things to try and help you understand where I'm coming from. So a while ago I came up with something, which was, I don't believe that sound exists external to mind. So sound only exists internal to mind. So there is a vibration external, which we could just say is a wave, an energy. And that wave hits your eardrums and goes into your mind. Your mind makes the best interpretation of what it thinks that can be. And then I discovered this is much the same with sight. So all objects that you see is just the light reflecting off of it and then reflecting back to your eyes, which is just another form of energy in a waveform. And when that wave hits your eyes, your mind makes the best interpretation or makes an image in your mind of what you think you see. But everything we do see and hear and touch and smell all exists inside of our mind. We create the images inside of our mind of what we think's external. It's my awareness of that tree. It's not over there with the tree. My awareness of the tree is in my mind. Also, the image of the tree is in my mind. Kind of shows that everything we think we see and hear, touch, is actually just us looking at ourselves. Because all images are inside of the mind. So I think how this works is, firstly, I want to change the word mind to consciousness. So I believe that consciousness in a still state can't see itself, which is why we produce these images. So to put it in a more understandable description, if I was to say you have a bright light over here and you have a projection screen over here, and in the middle is this pool of Play-Doh. Everything that you see, hear, touch, smell, forms out of this consciousness. And this light projects the image onto a screen. So therefore, the consciousness can see itself. So everything that you see in the external world is just projected onto this screen. The purpose that consciousness can see itself. If I was to sit here still, and when I say still, I mean with a still mind, what appears to me is when I look at the trees, there are no trees. which is not really that important. It's more, there is no me. There's no me observing the trees, so therefore there's no me, there's no trees, and there's no awareness. And in this still state, consciousness can't see itself. So it likes to use the mind, let's say, to create images out of consciousness to be projected onto the screen so that consciousness can see itself. I'm now moving on to the thoughts idea. I think thoughts are no different to sight, seeing objects, or hearing. I think that it's exactly the same as seeing an object, apart from they're just thoughts. So I think the thoughts arise also out of consciousness. So when thoughts arise out of consciousness, they come out of consciousness and get projected onto a screen so that consciousness can see itself. But what's important to be aware of is all that comes out of consciousness to be projected onto the screen also goes back into consciousness. And the reason why that's important is because when you focus on yourself, when you turn your observations inwards into consciousness, then consciousness doesn't have to produce anything out of consciousness to be able to see itself. So let's just say when a thought arises out of consciousness, it gets projected onto the screen. If you turn your awareness into your consciousness, so you inquire into your consciousness, who am I? And then you focus on the consciousness. Whatever comes out of consciousness to be observed goes back into consciousness. Because when you focus on consciousness, there's no need for consciousness to produce anything to be seen. Because your observations are already on the consciousness. Anyway, I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say in the video. Thank you very much for listening.